What is up, Innovation family? How's everybody doing today? It's me, Brandon, your friend, your neighbor, your host, back with another video, Innovation Probably Atlanta. Here talking about this Turo game, car rental game, and side hustles, ways we all can make money together. Before we jump to today's reaction video, let's do me a favor, you guys don't mind. Please show me some love. Ask questions in the comment section. Like this video, like my channel, subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification button so you guys can stay tuned and on top of my videos, and I drop them out on a regular basis. And then we will go from there. Today's quick reaction video, guys, is going to be from my guy Brandon down in Phoenix, Arizona. The name of his company, I believe, is Rents Something. I will put his video or description, information in my description. I think rent a car from me, something like that, but I'll get it correct in the description and also in the title. But shout out to him down in Phoenix for doing big things. Today's video is about how much he's made on Turo. Well, actually, no, today's video is going to be about the C8 Corvette. So here we are again, guys, talking about the C8 Corvette and how it's doing for some hosts. And then I'll jump in and provide some input as far as how my C8 is doing, and I'll give my take on what I think about the C8. So let's jump into the video and see what my guy Brandon has to say about the
disgrace to the Corvette brand and why it's a horrible car to put on Turo. So before I get into all the reasons why I hate the quirks and features of this car, let's just talk about Turo. One of the big things you need to look at in Turo is the depreciation you're going to get in a car. A lot of people are going out and buying these Stingray Corvettes that are supposed to be 60 grand, and they're paying over $100,000 for them. So they're almost what they're going to be worth in just a year or two. And so that depreciation is going to hit you, and you're going to get completely destroyed by Turo. Not to mention that if this car was $100,000, I have this thing listed for a co-host at $109 a day, and it won't rent. We have cars that are $30,000.
So we're not going to glance over that one. And to be honest, he is actually on the money. So you heard him right. He said he's renting that vehicle out down in Phoenix for $109 a day, and it is not renting. So I'll give my input or my feedback, but he's on the money when he says that. I listed my Corvette. The lowest I ever went on my Corvette was $299, and it still wasn't renting. I wanted to get $400 or $500 a day out of my Corvette. But that's just hard to get as far as in this economy, in this market. But he's on the money where it's not really a popular car as you think it would be, given the demand it had when it first came out and people wanting to buy it. But from a rental standpoint, it just doesn't do that good on Turo. Let's jump back into the video.
That will rent for over $100 a day. This is just not a good bang for your buck for Turo. So I want to go over a walkthrough with you guys on all the things that I absolutely hate about this car. I actually drove it for the first time yesterday, and I'm embarrassed for Chevy. It's that bad. So I have my favorite car in our fleet, a 2019 Z06. It was the very last year of the C7 generation, a Z06 model convertible 3LZ, beautiful car. They spent 70 years leading up to that car. It was just absolutely pristine. I love it. I'm a Corvette purist. I like what they're doing, moving the engine to the rear, getting more horsepower, giving it more performance. I just think they started off on the wrong foot with this. And let's start off with this. I cleaned this car yesterday. I took it out. One day, these wheels look like I have went on a 2,000-mile trek across Africa. It's absolutely horrific. There's brake dust everywhere. It's ugly and disgusting, and I can't imagine what it would look like if you had chrome wheels. So brake dust, modern Corvette, I don't know about that. Okay, now let's get into the door. Number one, especially for Turo, people are gonna go to the door and lock and unlock. If I'm just standing here at regular height, you can't even see the lock and unlock button. You literally have to go underneath here, and they're right here. When you're standing up, you can't even see these buttons. You don't even know they exist. The next thing is this right here. Like, I don't know if you guys use this a lot. Some people use it to put trinkets and stuff like that. They literally put suede in here. This is... What's up, guys? Brandon here with America's Motors. Appreciate you taking the time to watch the channel. If you want to look disgusting, I absolutely hate that. And then you've got all of these weird lines and curves. Like, look at how far this thing sticks out. This door is over a foot wide right here. It's probably 16 inches that it sticks out. And then you've got this weird thing that sticks out right here. This is crazy how this just sits over here. I think the reason they did that was for this air intake, but just don't know if I'm digging that. What do you guys think? One of the reasons I really got excited about cars at a young age is my mom worked for a doctor, and he had a 360 Modena Ferrari in the parking lot that I used to sit next to and do my homework. And one of the things I was mesmerized by with that was the glass that led to the engine that you could see. They tried to do that here, and they did accomplish it, but there's a couple of things I don't like about it. First off, when I was 6 years old, I was like this tall. You can't really see anything. The glass has been elevated so far off of the ground. And even when you do get up here and over it, the logo for Corvette is all the way in the back there. You can't really see it. You've got all of this like heat shield. It just doesn't really accentuate the block of the engine. It just kind of looks like a cluttered rat's nest in there, and it doesn't really look appealing to me. So that was a fail to me. Not to mention, we talk about all these weird lines and quirks. Look at this thing. You've got these shapes here, and then you've got this shape here, and then this goes into here. Like, you have got such an entanglement of straight and curved lines throughout this entire car everywhere. I don't look through this and go, oh, wow, that's a Corvette engine. Not working for me. Okay, we talked about weird lines and curves. For me, cars are a piece of art, and the lines really, like, you should have just a few in there that are really bold and captivate you. It's just like they sandwiched together 15 different curvature designs to make this. I mean, come look at all of these lines right here. Maybe the wrap just really blows it up, but you've got stuff going on here, and then a different thing here, and then a different thing here, and then a different thing there, and then you've got the spoiler. This is just complete overkill for me, so much so that it takes away from the beauty of the car. All right, just when you thought all these weird curves and we're done, they said, no, we're going to keep it consistent. We're going to do weird curves and lines on the inside too. So first off, this is kind of a first for me. I think the only time I've ever really seen anything like this was in the old school Carrera GT Porsches. They had the stick shift kind of going at an angle here. I don't know where or why they thought this was the way to go with this center stack right here. It completely alienates you, I think, from the passenger. And look at these randomness in trims right here. I mean, can you imagine getting a car like this dirty and then trying to clean in here? What a mess. Look at this. This is just sticking. Look at that. It's just sticking up right there. And then you've got this thing just sticking up right there. They have just gone totally crazy. Curves and lines and designs. It just takes away from the function of it. Any of you Corvette lovers out there ever looked at the logo of the Corvette and gone, man, that would be a really cool steering wheel? I think it would. Why don't they make the steering wheel an actual Corvette logo like this up here? That would be phenomenal. Instead, they did this downward faced, not circular, like jumbled mess over here. If you wanted to, it took me probably 5 minutes today just to figure out how to turn the volume up. You have to reach back here and go like this. You can't push it this way. You can't scroll. They have a button here to scroll, but instead of scrolling, you have to come down here and push buttons. For those of you that have a car with volume, you realize how annoying it is to push a button for every single little increment of increasing the volume, especially when you have a scroller right here. Why can't you use that for volume? Maybe you can. Comment below. I didn't realize how bad this was. I'm not a fan. Let's move on to the center stack. Okay, this car's options. So you've got heated and cooled seats, but you've got heated and cooled buttons here and here. So I guess the first time you get into the car, you just have to roll the dice and go, oh, I guess this is going to be my driver's seat, or is this one my driver's seat because it's closest to me? I venture to assume I'm not the only person on the planet that has an iPhone. Auto manufacturers, I know they know this because we have Apple CarPlay on the dash. A lot of the new manufacturers have wireless Apple CarPlay. Where do Corvette owners put their phone? Not there. That's gonna fall off. We can't put it there. If I put it here, it's covering the screen. Do you just go like that? Is that what you guys are doing? Like, where are we putting our phone? That falls. I don't even see a wireless charging port. You can put it in there, I guess. Aren't you guys like me? Don't you want to see your phone while you're driving? Like, why has a manufacturer not perfected this where you just simply put it somewhere where I can see it? It doesn't mess up my infotainment system. I can see a call come. I get people have Apple CarPlay, but I still want to see my phone. Like Apple CarPlay doesn't do everything on your phone. I got other apps that I get alerts for that it's not going to show me on Apple CarPlay. There is zero convenient place in this car to put your phone. I mean, it's not going to be in line of sight. Oh my God. Okay, you ready? Just roll with this one. Okay. This is a pretty easy video to shoot because we could just go on and on. Like this car is pretty sad. Like Chevy, I'm a big Chevy person too, so I'm embarrassed for you guys. You guys did not crush it on this. This is $100,000 sports car that they're selling right now. Entry level, by the way, a Stingray. Look at these AC vents. Look at this piece of, it's a plastic ball that's in there. And you just kind of, I guess you're going like this. Look at this. I mean, I've never seen anything like this before. Maybe they thought it was clever and that people were going to love this. The problem is that may work good if it was circular and I can just easily put my finger on there and move it around, but you can't put your finger directly on this and move it. Your finger falls off because it's so skinny. If it was a round circular, then maybe I could put my finger on it and move it where I want. And it's this is so dumb. This is horrible. Not to mention, look at how small this vent is. This vent is tiny, absolutely tiny.
All right, guys. So that pretty much is the C8 breakdown from Brandon from Phoenix. So let me jump in here real quick, guys, and give my final recap and thoughts. So the C8 Corvette, he bashed it pretty bad, and me and him kind of had a good conversation about this. I actually reached out to him about this video and told him it was actually a good video. You know, it's his opinion. So, but he's a good guy. But I actually feel totally different. The C8 Corvette to me is actually a masterpiece. This is by far the best sports car you can buy for the bang for the buck. Now, I didn't spend $100,000 for the one that I had. I spent about $75,000, $80,000 after taxes and fees. And I got the 1LT Stingray. That's it, basic one. All I did was add the high wing and the rally stripes. I love the vehicle. For what you get performance-wise, it's the best sports car you can get, hands down. Now, are the little quirks that he's talking about are true? Absolutely. I mean, because it's not a Ferrari, it's not a Lambo, it's not a McLaren, so you're not spending $300, $250 for the vehicle. You spend 75, maybe 85, 100. So there are little things you will notice when you own the vehicle. But for the most part, there's little knick-knack things that he's pointing out. Yeah, they are. He's probably more of a fan of a C8, like he mentioned in this video. But overall, the C8 Corvette is about the best car I ever owned and the best car ever driven. Now, personally, that's my opinion. For business and Turo, and other people might comment and say I'm wrong, it doesn't do well on Turo. This is in the Atlanta market, so I can't speak for New York, DC, Chicago, Detroit, Houston, Dallas, LA, Miami. It may do well in those bigger markets, other markets, but here in Atlanta, it doesn't really do well. Now, it's a great car when you get great feedback when you rent it out and people want to drive it and keep renting from you. So you can definitely get utilization, but you got to go for a low price. So 150, 175, 200 max is what you can get right now in this market for that vehicle. It's just not worth it to me. So what I'm looking to do for my vehicle is actually probably get rid of my C8 and get something different, like an SUV, and something that probably be more reliable from a utilization standpoint that families can drive, 4 doors for vacation, spring break, summertime. Corvette was a good car to try out, play around with, but overall it doesn't really do well in the Turo marketplace. So hope you guys like today's reaction video. Again, shout out to my guy Brandon down in Phoenix, and I'll have his link to his company in my description for you guys to check it out. Thanks for tuning in.